Let's have a conversation.
Thank you for having me on. It's always a pleasure to talk to you, and I'm sure I'll see you at one of these events again
All
soon.
time, we got Mark with the Mindful Reality podcast, who I've been a guest on, and it was a blast.
Thank you for having me, honestly, and I cannot wait to do it again. We're going to do this again in the future. I just know it.
What's going on, everybody? Good morning. I'm back, and we're here to talk a little bit more about Big Brother. So I always check the feeds in the morning, and I tell you guys that there's a lot going on, if there's a little going on. So yesterday, this is what I would rank the activity that happened yesterday evening going into the morning. Nothing much happened. There wasn't any fights. There wasn't any real game talk. There was game talk, but it was just a repetitive loop of just going over scenarios over and over and over and over and over again. The one interesting thing that people have been talking about is the fact that previous showmances, one of the people was like, if they had this type of choice, they were like, I don't want you to sit on the block. I'm going to come off the block. I mean, you're going to come off the block and I'm going to stay on the block. Yeah, Jag is using the veto. Unless something changes, Jag is definitely using the veto. And Jag was leaning towards taking America off the block. But Cory is campaigning heavily for himself to come off the block because he says, well, I don't feel like either of us are going to go home against Cam. I think it's more risky for me to be on the block than it is for you to be on the block. And ultimately, as much as I like you being here, my main thing is to win this game and play this game for myself, is what he's telling America in between them making out. That was probably the only thing that was funny about that whole thing of last night, was that she kept trying to kiss him and then he kept stopping to talk game. Well, one more thing about this, one more thing about that. Well, one more thing about this, and let's talk about that. The other thing was Jag and Matt going through all these different scenarios of, yeah, I would rather Cam stay in America or Cory go also. Jag was going through all these different scenarios with Matt because they were like, next week, the backdoor target is definitely Jared. They were saying that if one of them wins, they would put up Mimi and Bowie, because putting up Mimi and Bowie wouldn't show their cards of the fact that I think that he was saying that they would be trying to get out Cory and America, but just not right now. They're not their biggest targets right now. And then, strangely, because I didn't know this, Jag was telling Matt that Blue's vote would definitely be for Jared, and I didn't know that. I thought based on their discussions and this new partnership and team they were forming, and the fact that she was like, I want to get that B out, and she was so angry about that, I thought that if the opportunity was there, she would assist them in getting out Jared. But that's not what Jag was saying for some reason. So I'm still unsure of where Blue stands, but I think that Blue is floating still. So as he was doing the numbers, as Jag was doing the numbers with Matt, he said, he was like, hypothetically, if you won the next HOH, we put up Bowie and Mimi, and then the votes, and then when if somebody wins the power veto, and then Jared goes up, he says the votes that you would have against Jared are Cory, America, and myself, which is Jag. And the votes that you would have for Jared would be the Mamas and Felicia. And he said that they don't know where Mimi or Bowie would stand. So basically, this discussion was about them being swing votes. That could be a possibility, Carmen. That could definitely be a possibility that she's just all bark and no bite. Maybe even a probability. She just wanted to sound tough. I think she was genuinely angry at him. But in terms of when it comes to pulling the trigger, I think that she didn't have the heart to do that. People are saying though that she told Jag or told Matt about the secret, but I don't think that if they knew about, maybe Matt, but I definitely don't think that if Jag knew about the secret that everybody wouldn't know. Jag is kind of chatty patty. It doesn't seem like it because he's not somebody who dominates a room or dominates a conversation, but he is always talking. He is always talking. But what I don't understand is why there's such a problem with which one of them stays on the block. Because I thought that this week was supposed to be straightforward. I thought this week was supposed to be a straightforward week. I don't get the point of getting Jared or Cam out, to be honest. If it's one of them in the final 2 seats, nobody's voting against them. Well, that's true. But I would say if I was one of them, I would probably want Cam there over having Jared there. Just because, not because of the final 2, but because Jared has a hit list and he has vendettas. That's the reason why I would want him out. Cam is a different story. I don't think Cam really strongly dislikes anyone that's there anymore. I feel like he got the revenge he wanted by getting Izzy out of the house, and now he's on Cam Island. So I think having Cam in the house is not a big deal for a Cory, an America, a Jag, those people. But I think that a Jared in the house is a problem for them. Because he wants to get a lot of them out. He always says, I hate America. Now he had this problem with Cory. He doesn't like Cory. He doesn't like Jag. Matt, I don't know. Matt is gonna float. Matt is just gonna float along. But it's interesting that this is supposed to be very straightforward, and for whatever reason, it's not. I guess the one thing Cory is probably thinking about is, we all thought that Felicia was going home last week, and then the votes flipped. So what if everybody says Cam is for sure going to be the one that's going out, and then somehow the votes flip? which is always a possibility in this house. It doesn't seem that Jared, though, wants Cam to be in this house, even though I think strategy-wise, it would probably make a lot of sense for him to keep Cameron in this house for the double eviction, because Sari says, oh yeah, I'm going to try my hardest to win this next thing. The chances of Felicia or Sari winning over anyone else is not very high. So statistically, that is not his best probability of staying off the block. Cameron, on the other hand, wins a lot of things. Good morning, Lisa. Cameron, on the other hand, wins a lot of things and is the one person who's a bigger target than Jared. Jared made himself the biggest target in the house. Hey, that would be cool, but not likely. Yeah, I know, right? The house would just be like an episode of Dawson's Creek. I always compare them to Dawson's Creek because when I hear Cory talk, I always think of one of the Dawson's Creek characters who was just overthinking, overanalyzing, and had this huge vocabulary. and you're like you have all the analytics, but the social aspects are lacking. Driving now, but I'll be listening in. This one is honestly legitimately going to be a short one. The reason I hopped on right now is because I am maintaining my streak of lives every single day that Big Brother is on, every single day of the season that Big Brother is on, all 100. And because I told you guys I have some activities today, I don't know when or if I'm going to make it back on after I leave. So I wanted to make sure I at least got on for a short one beforehand. But 27 people jumped on. Shout out to y'all. Please hit the like button. I think there's a better chance of a flip if it's Cory. Oh, yeah, I agree. I think Cory's threat level to people is much higher than America's, for sure. I know the house would be so boring if we lost Cameron and Jared back to back. It would be so boring from there. And it's so early for that too. Like if they were in the final 6 or something, or if they were already in 7, if they were already a jury, I would be like, that's fine, Then we'll get some good jury content. But we have lost all these good people before jury. When I say good people, I mean good people for entertainment. Hey, Chocolate. Yeah, that was my sleeper pick is still Mimi. I said it at the beginning of the season, and I stand by that. Mimi is still a sleeper pick for me. Matt, when I made my ranking yesterday of best floaters, those are my top 2, Mimi and Matt. For the 25th, somebody had said that at the beginning of the season. I think that would be a great idea. Having alumni vote for a winner. Like maybe the alumni have a separate vote, whichever ones they select. And then their vote represents one vote in addition to the people in the house. That might be interesting. I know it's like the duo that you never knew you needed. Like when Superman has to work with Lex Luthor or something for a purpose. They're not really, they're always going to be enemies in some regards, but sometimes it's like we can only beat the rest of them by working together. Even though we know we're working together out of necessity. But Jared shot that down so hard. Like it doesn't even seem like he's interested. Like he was telling Jag yesterday, I would be a fool not to put Cameron up. Because he would target me so fast. It's so hard for me to even answer that because Mimi's a wild card. Felicia, I think that she would not take a shot at Jared only because she doesn't really have the numbers on the other side. I can definitely say I don't think Felicia would take the shot at him because she's not working with Cory, America, or Jag, who she knows is against him. So, and not with her. So I don't think that Felicia would. I don't think that Mimi would either because Mimi would be showing her cards and she doesn't play that type of game. So I don't think she would do that either. I think she would take the easy choice and do like a Bowie. I don't know who her second pick would be. I don't know. I don't know who her second pick would be. Actually, Mimi is so hard to read. She's incredibly hard to read. He is. I heard there's going to be a battle rounds for the 3 jurors to compete in. That would be kind of cool. That would definitely be cool. They've been talking about this battle back for a while. The house, even the people in the house have been talking about the battle back. Man, imagine if there was a battle back and Cameron came back into the house. I think Jared was actually talking about that yesterday in his HOH room. So basically, root for Felicia and Sari for HOH. Got it. If Felicia, Mimi, or Sari don't win HOH, Jared is gone unless he wins veto. That's a fact to me. Well, the only person I would be unsure of that might be in his corner is Blue. That's the only thing. But I think that Blue would throw it. I don't think that Blue would try to win next week because it would put her in the worst position. Because she would have to either pick Jared, save Jared and not put him on the block, or she would have to take shots at the other side who she said that she's working with now. So I think that she would definitely throw it. I think Blue and Mimi will throw it. Blue and Mimi. Yeah, I agree. I think that it would not be advantageous for either of them to win, and they would not. Neither of them would be the target if they won. If they didn't win, I should say. So I don't think they have a real benefit to going for that. Okay, y'all. I told you this was going to be a quick one. Thanks for hopping on. I might be able to get back on later. We'll see. Depends on how my day pans out. I'll probably be able to get back on before I leave for that Boy Meets World thing. But after the episode, I'm not totally sure. It depends on when it ends. and how long it takes me to get back. If I don't get back in time to watch the episode, I don't really see a point in me hopping on here. But if I do get back before the episode starts, I will definitely check in with everybody. And I hope everyone has a great day.
So you literally were one of my very first followers. And then when you followed me and I, followed back, I was like, this dude is cool. Like,
if they say talk to your manager, you just say, you know what, talk to the hand. You don't need to be on my podcast. But, yeah, dude. Yeah, you do a great job.
Thank you. I always get a kick out of talking with you on Patreon. You have a really good, view on everything.
That wasn't planned.
You know what?
Thank
but
you.
I like this Canadian.
Well,
I like this one.
well, thank you.